Hello, welcome to the B Circle. We are so honored you're here with us today. Welcome to the Circle. We got so many good things to talk about, and we're glad that you're part of the conversation. And we do talk about you, and we pray for you, and we think about you, and we are just happy to be at this table and talk about the goodness of God. Hey, email us, thebcircle@gmail.com. Check us out on our website, www.fbhom.church. You can become a partner there. You can give to the ministry there. Hey, go check us out. All right, let's get started this afternoon. And we're going to talk about the plan of God. But I think sometimes we get it twisted. And we say, God, bless my plan. But we leave him out of the plan.
Right.
When we should say, be my plan.
Right.
Yeah.
But we're saying, bless me, bless me,
Right.
bless me, bless me. Bless my plan, make it all work. And he's like, wait a minute, the plan is me.
Right.
Okay, let's
Right.
talk about it.
I instantly thought, and this is a materialistic example, but how many times do people go buy a car and they get all the bells and whistles, everything that they want, but they never ask God if that was the car? And then they get it home and then, oh gosh, I can't make the payments, or everything started breaking, or all the things. And I'm like, well, you didn't ask God if that was the car, but if you would have asked him if it was the car and waited on him, you wouldn't be having all the mistakes.
Right.
There you
So,
go.
but we can apply that to anything,
That's
you
true.
know?
It's true.
We want him to bless our plans without considering him.
Yes, we do.
Right. We want him to approve it, and we don't want to surrender.
Yeah, it's
We
true.
want him to surrender to our agenda. We want him to say, oh, you did a really good job with that. Like sometimes I imagine God going, okay, go ahead and do that. I'll tell you how that's going to work, but go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to take my hands off that. In my imagination, sometimes I think he's like, you didn't ask my opinion, so
Yeah.
work it out.
It's like we as women will go out and buy something, okay? And then after we've already bought it, we'll go home and say, hey, do you care if I buy that?
Right.
Hoping they say yes.
Yeah.
Because I've already executed my plan. I've already got it. I need you to say yes. And I feel like that's what we do with God sometimes. I think we move out, we do it, and then we ask.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between God, bless what I've decided, and God, decide what I should do.
Oh, that's good.
Absolutely.
That's
What
good.
should I do? Because if it's truly God's plan, we don't need to ask him to bless it. It's already carries his blessing because it was his
That's
idea.
Right.
And
That's
so
right.
Favorite.
we got to get back to including him in
Yes.
everything.
Yeah.
You know, including him in everything. I was just talking, I was telling you, I was talking to one of my boys that they're thinking about moving. And they've done a great job of being wise and saving and looking things out and seeing how things cost and everything. And I said to them, I said, that's great. I said, but have you prayed about this? And their response was, well, I mean, get down on my knees and pray. I haven't done that yet.
That was one of those times you didn't want the peace to see. You was going to knock him
I'm
out.
like,
That's one of those times where peace was going to go, wasn't
yeah, I'm like, well, son, why don't you do that? I'm going to need you to include God in this. Because even if you did all the natural things,
Right.
on paper, this looks good.
Uh-huh.
But include the Lord in that plan so we know that it is good.
Right.
And that
Right.
it's right for you.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's a huge difference.
Proverbs says a man's heart plans his way,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
but the Lord directs his steps.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yep.
We got
Yep.
that here too.
Yeah.
Well, then what if we didn't include him in it, and then we're frustrated it didn't go like we thought it would, and then we put the blame on him.
Right. And we want to
It's
fix it.
like, we fixed this after he had nothing to do with
Right.
any of it.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Well, I was thinking, and I had written this down when we were talking about this topic, but when we will surrender our plan to God and let him be the plan.
Yeah.
We talked about remarkable secrets some time back, but when we will allow God to be the plan, we'll start watching, and those fenced secrets will begin to drop
Yeah.
in our lap.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we let, it was hidden.
Yeah.
It was fenced in. We couldn't get to it.
Right.
But when we said, God, I surrender to you, you be the plan, then all of a sudden secrets opened up to us, mysteries
Yeah.
opened up to us, doors opened up to us, because we said, not my plan, but your plan.
Yeah,
Mhm,
absolutely.
mhm.
You know, when I was younger, I had my whole life planned out,
Me too.
and
Girl,
I
me too.
I was
I was
so
going to
bad,
be a famous singer.
right?
That didn't happen.
I
Well,
was gonna be a lawyer with no kids.
I was
and
going
now
to be a
look at
news journalist too one time. I had so many things I was going to be. Anyway, what was yours?
well, I wanted to be a flight attendant because I was bound and determined this is going to fulfill my love of traveling. And I was going to get off the plane on my days off. I was going to go live my best life and then I'd hop right back on to my job, you know? I just had it all planned out. And I remember telling the Lord, this is what I'm going to do. Had it all worked out. And he said, no, that's not what you're doing. He said, I called you to be a missionary. So you're going to have to like slow down a little bit. And when he said that to me, it wrecked my whole world. But what I didn't realize was he put the love for travel in me. It was just going to look different than what I thought it had
Right,
to
right,
look
right.
like.
Boy, I
Right.
wish you were that flight attendant now. We could go to
I know,
Africa
that's
cheap.
true.
He didn't
Can
I
you
could
still
get
talk to me?
vacation. They're
Right.
picking on
We could
God
do
for
that
that.
now. We're trying to go to Africa in October. Oh my goodness.
They're
We need that flight
expensive.
attendant discount.
Absolutely. But, you know, when I surrendered that, he fulfilled my heart's desires and my dreams in
Right.
a
That's good.
drastically different way, better than I could think or imagine. I mean, now I get to travel with you guys. I get to travel with PA. I get to travel to Africa. I get to go on vacation with my family. Like, I'm doing what I love. I had it in a box.
And you don't have to serve Sprite to anybody.
Absolutely. Or deal with picking up everybody's stuff off the floor.
Give
You
them
know?
those little nasty cookies they give you.
Mhm.
Whatever happened to the day where they gave you good snacks on the airplane? Oh, we're not talking about that, are we? Okay. Let's get back on.
Reel it back into the plan of God.
Jeremiah 29:11. We all know
Mhm.
that. We've
Okay.
quoted that so much.
Mhm.
But he knows the plans.
Yes, he does.
He said, I know the plans
Mhm.
that I have for you. And I have plans to prosper you.
Mm.
And when you really think about that, if God already knows the plan he has for you, why would I think my plan would be better than his?
Right.
Mhm, mhm,
But you know, we get puffed up in ourselves
mhm.
and we think that we can just plan everything.
We
Yeah,
do.
we have it all mapped
and
out.
we have it mapped out, and God's laugh. I think God laughs
I
at
think
us.
he
I do
laughs.
too.
I think he
I
I'm
think
laughs.
he
telling
laughs
you.
at us and says,
Yep.
I didn't predestinate you for that. I didn't order that for you, but you go ahead and you
Yeah.
try it.
Exactly.
It
That's
won't
how I
work,
see
and
it.
then you can come back to my plan.
Yeah, then he says, sit down.
And see, that got me to thinking when you bring that up about this, weighing your thoughts. We've heard about that God's perfect will, God's will,
Mhm.
and that submissive will or permissive will.
Permissive will.
Permissive
Yep.
will. Perfect will and permissive will.
Mhm.
And so I do believe that God will allow that
Yeah.
to take place in our life when he allows you to choose this is what you wanted to do. And it may necessarily not be bad. Like you wanted to be the flight attendant. You were for this and God has spoken you many different, but you still chose that. It's not bad,
Yeah.
but you could be living a more blessed life or more fulfilled life or more prosperous life had you went with God's perfect will.
Yeah.
Mhm,
I mean, what do you guys think about that?
mhm.
Hmm.
Well, if it says it in the scripture, about the permissive will, who both of my boys brought home the wrong woman first. And I'm going crazy. I mean, really. What? Yeah. I'm saying, uh-uh.
Oh my God, you got to do something.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Do
Absolutely.
something fast.
I'm praying about that. And I thought the enemy will always try to slide in
Mhm.
Yes.
the wrong answer, even for us, before the right answer comes. And
Absolutely.
how many of us, mamas, have spent time on our face saying,
Mhm.
God, please send the right one into their life. But if they had chosen the wrong one, I'm going to love them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We would have to, wouldn't we?
No, we have to,
We have
because we
to.
want them to know Jesus.
Right.
Like our boys know Jesus or our girls know Jesus. We want to bring them into the family.
Yes.
If that's what you've
Yes.
chosen, I don't think it's right. I don't think it's God's will.
Right.
That's okay. I'm loving that girl
Mhm.
because the love of God in me needs to draw her,
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
So, sometimes they don't pick what we would pick, but it's still, we have the ability to be the lover of them that would show them Jesus.
Mhm.
So that would be a permissive will.
Mhm.
Do
You know.
you ever sit back and thank God that he didn't allow
Oh,
Mhm.
all
your
the time.
permissive will
Oh,
I
Yes.
know.
to be established?
All the
Yes.
time.
Yes.
You know, Garth Brooks, yes, I listen to country music occasionally, had a song years ago
Hmm.
that said, I thank God
Mhm.
for unanswered
For
prayers.
unanswered
Yes.
prayers.
And, you know, there are so many things in my life that I look back on and I just raise my hands and
Yep.
say, God, thank you that you didn't hear me.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
I mean, I know he heard me,
Right.
but
But
you know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
But he did not establish that
Right.
and
Right.
What I
cause
wanted.
that to be.
Yes.
He prevented me from that
Right.
because his plan was greater
Better.
than my plan.
Yes.
His plan was bigger than my plan.
Right.
And you know, sometimes we follow God's plan and then the enemy's there. He's an equal opportunity pleaser.
Oh, yeah.
He is there to say, oh, well, if you would have just done this,
Mhm.
look how much further you would be,
Yeah.
how much more wealthy
Right.
you would be,
Mhm.
you know, how you would have this and you would have that. But look at you. Here you are. You could have, and you're preaching. Well, you know, I'm preaching with peace
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
because I guarantee you if I'd have chose that other plan that was my plan,
Right.
I might have more money.
Right.
I might have a bigger house, but I guarantee you I wouldn't have the peace
Right.
Absolutely.
that I have because I'm in God's plan.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Not just peace, but joy.
Joy.
Absolutely.
You know, because when we're in service, even the group of us, and I get to look around the room and see the diversity
Mhm.
that God, I get tickled. I said, Lord, only you could put us together.
Right.
From all of the
Yeah.
places we've come from, we're all from a different state.
Mhm.
We're all from a different not necessarily generation, but all different ages,
Mhm.
Right.
you know, all different, well, Pentecostal backgrounds, but even family backgrounds. But look what God did, and it brings joy.
Yes.
It
'Cause
does.
it
It
was
does.
his plan
Right.
and not
Yeah.
our plan.
Right.
Right. And
Right.
it's fun.
I mean,
Yeah.
if anybody would have told me 3 years ago that we would all be sitting around the table doing a podcast called The B Circle,
Right.
I'd have probably been like, yeah.
Definitely one in my plan. My
Uh-uh.
cards.
Never in my plan.
Right.
Never, ever in my plan
Yeah.
to do something like this. But God's ways are higher
Right.
than our ways. His
Right.
thoughts are greater
Right.
than our thoughts. And he knew that there was something, you know, sometimes I don't think all I'm saying is all of that. But I know when I get with you guys, iron sharpens iron.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, I like to say all the time to people, this day of Lone Rangers is over
It's
with.
over.
Mhm.
It is time to hook up with like-minded people.
Right.
Sharpen one another. Be all that you can be so that you can walk out the plan of God on your life and know that God has ordered your steps. I know that God ordered my steps to be in Tisha's
Absolutely.
life
Right.
and her to be in mine.
Right.
You know, don't get it twisted that you think you're the answer.
Oh,
Right.
no. Mm-mm.
It takes us all.
All the supply.
I don't like to
The
use this
supply's
saying
here.
because I don't agree with the person that said it, but it does take a village.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It takes a circle.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
It takes a group
It does.
working together.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
jointly fit. The Bible says we're all members of one body, jointly fit together.
Mhm.
And I feel like we're jointly fit together around this table. We bring joy and laughter to each other.
Yes.
If nothing else, we can laugh at each other.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know, and we get silly sometimes. We get serious sometimes.
Right.
If you've
Yeah.
watched, you've seen the tears flow about certain things. But at the end of the day, I know I'm in the plan of God.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, you
Yeah.
know, I looked at Job 38 and in my Bible reading Job. Sorry, I don't enjoy reading Job, but I will read it again because I need it. But you get to Job 38 and God starts to talk back and he said, "Where were you?
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
Where were you when, when I formed the earth? Where were you when I dug the foundation? Where were you when I laid the foundation?" And I think sometimes God needs to say to us, "Hey,
Hey.
where were you?"
Right.
Yoo-hoo!
Hey,
Yoo-hoo! Yoo-hoo! Come here! Come here!
Yeah,
I got a plan! I got a plan! Yoo-hoo!
I have a plan.
Mhm.
And sometimes, I mean, I'm back to we think we know more when we don't know anything
Mm.
but what God has prepared for those
Right.
who love him.
Right.
Right.
He's prepared something for us.
Mhm.
And it's like Christmas. I mean, if you got little ones, you've wrapped gifts. What's the joy of it?
Watching them.
unwrap.
Uh-huh.
And I think God's standing there and saying, oh, if they just unwrap it.
Unwrap
Oh,
that
that's
plan.
good.
I wonder if they just unwrap that, if they know that everything I've lined up, this is the answer for it.
Mm.
You know, and if we could see the heart of God, that He's wanting us to unwrap
Right.
remarkable things.
Remarkable things. And I was thinking about what we say. The purpose of the B circle is to be all that God's called us
Right.
to be. So I wrote this down the other night. Be all that God has called you to be. We're called to fulfill the purpose and the plan of God on our lives,
Mhm.
according to Romans 8:28.
Right.
For we know that all things
Mhm.
work together for the good to those that love me
And our call,
and are called to the plan.
Mm.
according to His purpose.
Then I put, before we were formed in our mother's
Mhm.
womb, Jeremiah 1:5, He knew us.
He knew me.
He knew us. He knew us when I was in my mother's womb.
Mm.
God already knew the mistakes
Right.
that I was going to make,
Absolutely.
the will of God I was going to get out of, the permissive will of God that I was going to be a part of.
Right.
He knew where I was going to walk.
Mm.
He knew. But what
Yeah.
I love about it, He knew me,
Mhm.
yet He
Yet
loved
He
me.
loved me.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
love that. Okay. Then I said, He called us to be before He knew us.
Mm.
He knows us, He chose us, and He ordained us
Yeah.
to be all God's called us to be.
It's
Praise
so
God.
good.
That's so good. Yeah, that
That's
is
so
And he
good.
and he knew. He knew. That's what I love about God. He knew where I was going to mess up.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
But He said, "Hey, come on back. I still got a plan."
Right. Right.
And I'm going to use that mistake
Right.
for you to help somebody else not to make the same mistake.
Mm.
So I'll not waste any sorrow.
That's right.
I will redeem the sorrow and bring it back in. And can I tell you, if you've made mistakes or making mistakes, God wants to redeem those mistakes.
Mhm.
He wants to tell you that His plan's so great for you that He can use even your mistakes and failures to bring glory to God as you come back to Him. Come
Oh,
on
so
back.
come on
to His
back.
plan.
That's
Yeah.
so good.
You know, I said, I would not, Donita, change any bad thing that ever happened to me.
Mhm. Yeah.
At the time I was going through it, you couldn't breathe.
Mhm.
You didn't know if there was ever going to be life,
Right.
if there was ever going to be hope on the other side of this.
Right.
But sitting here today, and I look back at the plan and the way that I've taken, if it hadn't have been for those things that I walked through, I would have never known that God's plan was so much greater.
Greater.
Yeah.
Right.
So
for
much
sure.
greater.
That's right.
For sure. He'll use everything. He will. My mom was a single mom at 23. Back in those days,
That was poo-poo, wasn't it?
there was an unforgettable sin.
Yeah.
Right.
Or an unforgivable sin. And she has in the last 20 years only shared that she was an unwed mother because she didn't want people to perceive her
want
a
to
certain
shame.
way. And I remember it clear as day. We were at the table and she said that the Lord had spoke to her and said, "How long are you going to delay the testimony?"
Wow.
And she said, when I begin to share, she said the women that began healing because the condemnation came off of them.
Mhm.
And she's like, had I kept that in, I would not have fulfilled the plan.
Wow.
Would not have fulfilled it. So God knew she was going to be a single mom.
Yeah. He knew it.
He knew it.
Yeah.
He knew it. And yet he still turned it around
Yep.
and made beauty out of her ashes
That's right.
and used it
That's right.
to witness and minister and love on. And she always said it. She said, a single mother is always welcome in this church. I will love them, come beside them, and we will take care of them.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right. So if you got off the plan,
Right.
just say, God, I don't think, or I know I've strayed from your plan.
Yeah.
Help me to get back in sync.
Right.
Help me to get back
Mhm.
aligned
Mhm.
in your plan, because there's nothing better than the plan of God.
That's right.
Right.
Absolutely.
So do you ever think about you, and I know we were picking at it and stuff, but when you look back now and you think, where would I be today had I not followed the plan of God?
I don't think I would have
Should
been
be
sick.
pouring Sprite for me on American Airlines.
Right? I truly think it would have caused me to detour from my relationship with the Lord.
Yeah.
I really do. And so now I'm like you, I tell the Lord thank you all the time for, you know, him just guiding and directing me. And I'm thankful that I tuned in to his voice because so many times
Right.
I haven't always done that.
Right.
So it changes the trajectory of everything when you're in the will of God in the best ways possible. And so I'm just grateful for that.
There's no better place to be than in the will of God.
That's right.
And, I think when we have had part of our plan stray from the plan of God, like your mom being an unwed mother and stuff, the enemy tries to put shame on us
Right.
to keep us from talking about it.
Yeah.
And sometimes even when you're not ashamed and you're grateful that God redeemed you and saved you and rescued you, when you can start talking about where you've been, people can get haughty, and so you'll be quiet because you don't want to hear, because they're like, that's not how it happened. I got a side of the story. But this is my side of the story. But the Lord made me see something sometime back. And he said, don't allow your perception to be misaligned because of their perception.
That's good. Yeah.
They seen it according to their perception. You're seeing it according to your perception. You know what happened to you. You tell it from your place. I know you hate this, Julie. Your place of truth. That's the truth of what I seen, what I experienced.
Yeah.
If you didn't see it that way, that's okay. I'm not upset with you. But don't try to change what I know happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The truth that
The
happened
truth
to me.
that happened to me. And don't stop talking about what God did and how he rescued you
Right.
because it upsets somebody else.
Right.
Right.
And we've all worked through that.
Yes.
And coming out of whatever we've gone through, people on the outside looking in who don't know the dynamics, perceive something that's not true.
Well, let me ask you, Julie. She wanted to be an airline stewardess, she thought. What was your plan? What'd you think?
When I was growing up,
Yeah.
I was going to be a school teacher. I wanted to teach school, which that's what we played school. My aunt was a school teacher, so she would bring us home the big books, and she got me a chalkboard and all of the things. I wanted to be a teacher, and I didn't have like a conversation with God about it, but I just knew as I got older. There was a minister years ago that came to our church. I'll never forget it. His name was Troy Ogle. He was like 70 years old. I was like 13, 14. And he told me, he said, what you're seeking is not what God told you to do. And I'm like, everybody, I was 13, 14.
Understand.
So, they didn't, she doesn't, she's going to do. And I knew in that moment I wouldn't be a school teacher. I was crushed.
Oh, wow.
I was crushed. So, but I mean, I'm glad now. I'm glad now because that would have totally changed my life.
Absolutely.
100%. But, I think that our as we're going through life, what we want and what we think, it changes with our ages and how we grow in our relationship with the Lord. And I'm like you, I just thank him for unanswered prayers. I thank him for when, God, I know this is the right thing. I know this is the right thing. He was gracious and didn't punish me for what I knew.
Right.
Yeah.
But he just kindly, softly, and gently
Redirected
me.
T, what about you?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I wanted to be a lawyer, not have kids, did not want to get married. That's what I wanted. I had that planned out. And then I ended up having a child as a teenager, got married young, and ended up in ministry.
Look at that.
So look at that.
Look at that. What about you, Dee?
I'm the different one at the table. I've known since 6 that ministry was what I was called to, and even straying off the path of that was always a pull back. But I can take you to the place in the church, at the altar's still in that church where I knew God called me.
Wow. So you knew.
I knew.
You always knew.
At 6, I was 6.
That's amazing. I probably always knew I was going to be in ministry. I had other aspirations, but, the call of God was there. I had so many prophecies, even as a young child. I remember when I was 12 years old, a man by the name of Charles Strickland out of Bartow, Florida, he's probably gone on to heaven now. but he prophesied to me and I didn't understand it then. And he talked about a prophetic call and a prophetic flow. I didn't know what that was. Evidently, nobody around me did because they didn't try to educate me on it. But he prophesied that to me and I never, ever forgot it. And then he had me preach my first sermon when I was 12 years old in his pulpit because he believed in me that he was trying to pull it out
Wow,
of me.
that's awesome.
So, I'm so grateful for that. But if you're watching or listening today, you heard it all. Okay. We're all from different places.
Yep.
We all had plans.
Yep.
We all had aspirations. We all had things we wanted to do. We wanted to be school teachers and airplane stewardess and lawyers. And Donita over here, she's got halos on. She always wanted to be a preacher. Yeah. But if you're looking today and you're thinking, I'm not doing anything I want to do, just look at us. Neither are we.
Right.
That's the truth.
That's so true.
Neither are we. But we're doing what God
That's the key.
Yep.
wanted us to
That's
do.
the key.
Amen.
And that's where the peace and the joy
Mhm.
and the fun.
Yeah.
And
He
fulfill-
said, I've
And
come to
fulfill.
give you life. And I come to give it to you more
More.
abundantly.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I think the Amplified Bible says, I want to give you life. I want you to live to the full.
Yeah.
And I think all of us around this table can say we are living life to the full.
Yep.
Yes, and
Yeah.
Does everything go the way we want it to every day? Absolutely not. Do we say the right things all the time?
Nope.
Absolutely not. Do we make the right choices every day? You who know, we do not. We do not. But the point of the matter is he knows the plans he has for us.
Right.
Plans to
Praise the
prosper
Lord.
us,
Right.
plans to keep us in peace, plans to give us an expected end. So today, if you feel like you're in your plan and not God's plan, just say, Lord, forgive me. Open up your plan to me. I want to be
Yes.
all that you've called me to be.
Yes.
I'm ready to step into the plan of God. I'm ready to be your girl. I'm ready to be your woman. I'm ready to follow hard after you. And you know what? He'll be like, come on home, baby. Step right on back into it. Here you go. Now let's just walk hand in hand and watch me as I show you secrets and reveal things to you that you never thought or imagined. So you're not out of the plan, you're just in the wrong plan. So get into God's plan, it'll all come together. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll see you the next time on the B Circle. Go be all God's called you to be.
Thanks for watching this week's broadcast of the B Circle, sponsored by Faith Builders House of Miracles. If you would like more information about the B Circle, the ladies of the B Circle, or how you can partner with us, simply visit fbhom.church/thebcircle for more information and ways to connect with us. Remember to be all that God has called you to be. See you next week.